staying on Freedom Day celebrations across the country, and we now take you to reporter Samkele Maseko, who's live for us in Mamelodi in Pretoria. So Samkele, take us through what's happening where you are right now.
While the MK party will be hosting its own Freedom Day lecture, which is dubbed the Solomon Mahlangu Lecture, which will be delivered by the MK president and leader Jacob Zuma. As you can see behind me, they are setting up that particular marquee where the leader of the MK party, Jacob Zuma, will be addressing that particular rally today. I am joined with Mr. Morolane, who is a member of the MK party and part of the leadership in the province. Mr. Morolane, just the essence of this particular rally taking place today, the essence of it.
Look, we've chosen this day deliberately as uMkhonto weSizwe region. Remember that Solomon Mahlangu died when he was coming arrested in Mozambique, and the person who was driving him, it was President Jacob Zuma. Now, today is Freedom Day, and you'll agree with me that we still have tentacles of slavery and apartheid in this country. So this is a call, and it's a reminder for people in South Africa that our level of consciousness must rise, because we cannot be subjected to a hedonistic society where now pleasure has become the order of the day. While saying that slavery was abolished in this country 191 years ago in 1834. And you can see that black people and white people are not living the same type of lifestyle. And it's because of the history that we have in this country, meaning that a day like today being Freedom Day, we must remind ourselves. That's why we've chosen this lecture of Solomon Mahlangu, so that President Jacob Zuma can remind us as to what those soldiers were representing when they were fighting freedom in this country.
Addressing some members of the MK party yesterday in Soweto, he spoke about how state-owned enterprises were willy-nilly sold by the former and the late Minister of Public Works, Pravin Gordhan. Just the essence of that era. If you were to liken former President Zuma's era in government, you were still within the economic freedom fighters at the time, and to what is happening today, particularly with SOEs. SAA is largely profitable today and it was not sold.
Look, there has been a decline of governance in this country under the leadership of the ANC collectively, and that's why it's important that the ANC must be removed into power, so that we can bring new policies, new ideas that will change the plight of the people of South Africa. So when you speak of SOEs, the SOEs, they cannot then change if you still have the policies that are being implemented by the African National Congress.
What can we look forward to from the address of the MK leader Jacob Zuma today?
As I stated, that President Jacob Zuma is going to come here and remind us where we come from, speak about Solomon Mahlangu, because he's the one who driven Solomon Mahlangu before he was arrested, coming from Mozambique. And his is to raise the level of consciousness of South Africans, to say that we need total liberation, we need total economic emancipation, we need total cultural liberation as South Africans. So those are the issues that President Jacob Zuma will be talking about today.
Will you also be unveiling some of the Solomon Mahlangu family members who've recently joined the MK party about 2 weeks ago?
No. The purpose of today is the memorial lecture of Solomon Mahlangu. Obviously, the event is starting at Kgosi Mampuru, where a delegation of 70 people, including the family of the Mahlangus, will be at the gallows of Kgosi Mampuru. From there onwards, the 70 delegation will be proceeding to Mamelodi West Cemetery, where there will be a laying of wreath, and from there on they will be coming here, where here the community will be reminded as to what Solomon Mahlangu and the cohort represented.
Thank you very much, Morolane. That is a leader of the MK party in Gauteng, Mr. Morolane, just outlining the program that will essentially take place today. The main purpose of this Solomon Mahlangu lecture on this particular day is to remind South Africans and these community members of Mamelodi, where South Africa's freedom comes from, where we are now and what has been the intervening period over the past 30 years. You do know that former President Zuma is very adamant that the governing party, which is the biggest party in the government of national unity, the African National Congress, has veered off track. He is one of those who is advocating for land expropriation without compensation now in this banner of the MK party. The EFF in yesterday, when he was still president of the ANC and president of the country, did offer him that particular 6% that the EFF had in order to amend Section 25 of the Constitution. So it would be rather interesting on how the current political landscape will shape up now with the EFF, the MK party and the ANC all split into smithereens, into different political formations, ANC, EFF and the MK party.
All right, Samkele, Maseko, watching that story for us. Thanks very much indeed. Certainly all eyes and ears on it as it continues to develop.